So you want to own a casino. It sounds like a license to print money, right? People walk in, they hand you their cash, and the odds are always in your favor. The house always wins. But here's the strange part. That famous house edge, the little math advantage built into every game, is actually tiny. On a game of blackjack, the casino might keep less than $1 out of every 100 that gets bet. So if the edge is that small, how do these places make billions? Well, that's the secret. A casino is not really in the gambling business. It's something much cleverer. And by the end of this video, you'll see the whole machine. Every hidden gear that turns your fun into their fortune. So let's build one, piece by piece. First, let's kill the biggest myth. The idea that the house wins because the games are rigged against you. They are not. The math is only slightly in the casino's favor. Take roulette. For every $100 bet, the casino expects to keep about $5. That's it. $5. So how does $5 become a fortune? Two words, volume and time. A single roulette wheel can spin 60 times an hour. Multiply that tiny edge by thousands of bets, by thousands of players every hour, all day, all night, and that little trickle becomes a flood. The casino doesn't need to beat you big. It just needs you to keep playing, because the longer you play, the more certain their math becomes. They aren't gambling, you are. The house is just running the numbers. Okay, so the games make money slowly, through volume, but not all games are equal. When you picture a casino, you probably think of the glamorous stuff. The poker tables, the roulette wheel, a man in a suit playing blackjack. But the real workhorse of almost every casino is the slot machine. Those flashing, beeping machines? In many casinos, they bring in more money than all the table games combined, often 2/3 of the entire gaming floor's income. And there's a reason. A slot machine never needs a break. It never needs to be paid. One employee can watch over dozens of them at once, and the people playing them can lose money faster than at almost any table. Casinos even have a phrase for what they're really selling here. They call it time on device. The longer you sit at that machine, pressing that button, the more the math works in their favor. So everything about the slot is designed to keep you there. The near misses, where 2 jackpot symbols land and the third stops just above the line, that's not bad luck. That's engineering. The little wins that are actually less than your bet, but still make the machine sing and flash like you won big, that keeps your hand on the button. The table games bring the glamour, but the slots bring the money. But this raises a huge question. If the odds are against us, why do we keep playing? The answer is inside your own head. Every time you win, even a tiny amount, your brain releases a little hit of a chemical called dopamine. It feels good, it makes you want more. But here's the clever and slightly scary part. Your brain releases that same chemical during a near miss, when you almost win. So those slot machines that stop just one symbol short of the jackpot, they light up your brain almost as much as a real win would. You feel like you were so close, so you play again. And then there's the trick of losses disguised as wins. You bet $1 on 20 different lines. You win back 40 cents. The machine erupts. Lights, music, celebration. But wait, you just lost 60 cents. Your brain, though, it only heard the celebration. This is the real product a casino sells. Not money, not even fun exactly. It sells that feeling. The warm, glowing, just one more spin feeling. And it is one of the most powerful feelings a human being can experience. The house isn't just betting against your wallet. It's working with your own brain chemistry, against you. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because if you think the gambling is where the money is, you're already behind. Walk down the Las Vegas Strip today and look closely. The biggest resorts make more money from everything that isn't gambling. The hotel rooms, the restaurants, the shows, the nightclubs, the shopping. Back in 1990, gambling was about 2/3 of the money on the Strip. Today, that is completely flipped. Now, more than half of all the money comes from non-gaming. The rooms, the food, the fun. So think about what a modern casino resort really is. It's a hotel with thousands of rooms. It's a shopping mall. It's a concert venue. It's a collection of world-famous restaurants. It's a nightclub that can pay a superstar DJ millions and still make a profit. And a single bottle of champagne at that club, it might cost more than a used car. The casino floor in the middle isn't really the business anymore. It's the bait. It's the glittering, free-to-enter attraction that pulls millions of people through the doors. And once they're inside this little city you've built, they spend on everything. You're not running a casino, you're running a resort, and the gambling is just one ride in the theme park. Now, if you're going to own a casino, you need to understand your most powerful tool. It isn't the games, it's the building itself. Every single detail of a casino is designed to change your behavior. So let's take a walk. First thing you'll notice, there are no clocks and no windows. None. It's always a warm, glowing evening inside a casino. You can't see the sunrise. You have no idea if you've been there 1 hour or 6. Time simply disappears. And a player who can't feel time keeps playing. Next, the layout. It feels like a maze, doesn't it? That is on purpose. To reach the exit, or the bathroom, or your room, you have to walk past hundreds more chances to play. Then there's the money itself. You're not betting with cash, you're betting with chips. Bright, colorful plastic chips. Because it doesn't feel like real money. It's so much easier to push a stack of chips across a table than to hand over the real $50 bills they stand for. Oh, and let's bust one myth. People say casinos pump extra oxygen into the air to keep you awake and gambling. That one is not true. It would be a fire hazard, and it's illegal. But the myth survives for a reason, because everything else in that room really is designed to keep you playing. The free drinks, the soft, hypnotic sounds, the lack of sharp corners, even the wild carpet patterns, designed to keep your eyes up on the games. None of it is an accident. You didn't wander into a casino, you were guided through one. Now let's talk about the most misunderstood thing in the whole building, the free stuff. The free drinks, the free rooms, the free meals. Casinos call them comps, short for complimentary, and to a new owner, they look like a pure cost. They are not. They are one of your smartest investments. See that little loyalty card players slot into the machines? That card is watching. It tracks how much you bet, how long you play, which games you like. And from that, the casino works out one crucial number, your theoretical loss. Basically, how much they expect to win from you over time. And they will happily give you back a small slice of it. A free steak dinner worth $80 to a player they expect to lose $2,000? That's not generosity, that's math. And this brings us to the most important customers of all. The casino has a name for them, whales. These are the high rollers, the players who might bet $50,000 on a single hand. A tiny handful of these people can make or break a casino's entire month. So they're treated like royalty, private jets, penthouse suites, personal hosts, millions in credit handed over on a handshake. And there's one game where you'll often find them, baccarat. It's simple, it's fast, and the bets are enormous. In some Las Vegas casinos, this one game, played by just a few whales, brings in a huge share of all the table money. So while the everyday players fill the floor, it's often a few dozen whales in a quiet, high-limit room who really decide whether your casino wins or loses. To see just how wild the whale world gets, let me tell you about one man. Kerry Packer, an Australian billionaire and maybe the most famous high roller who ever lived. His bets were so enormous that a single visit could swing a casino's entire month in either direction. He once reportedly won around $40 million in one Las Vegas trip, one of the biggest wins the city had ever seen. There's a famous story about him. A loud businessman at a table once bragged to Packer that he was worth $100 million. Packer looked at him and offered to flip a coin for it. The man went quiet. And that is the terrifying beauty of the whale if you're the casino owner. On his good nights, he makes your year. On his bad nights, he can put a dent in a billion-dollar company. When you own a casino, you don't just manage a floor full of tourists, you manage a very small number of people who could break you. Now, here's the part that should really get your attention, because the casino has escaped the building. For 100 years, to gamble, you had to physically walk into a casino. Not anymore. Today, the most powerful casino in the world might be the one in your pocket. Online casinos and sports betting apps now take in tens of billions of dollars a year, and they are growing fast. And think about what that means. A real casino has to build a hotel, hire thousands of staff, fill the seats. An app has none of that. It's open 24 hours a day. It's in the pocket of almost everyone you know, and it never, ever closes. And it uses every single trick we just talked about. The flashing wins, the near misses, the points, the bonuses, the free bets. Except now, it also knows your name, your habits, exactly when you get paid, and exactly which offer will pull you back in. The building with no clocks and no windows? It's now a glowing screen, 6 inches from your face. The house didn't disappear, it just moved in with you. Now, before you get too excited, let's talk about what it costs to run this machine, because it is enormous. First, the building. A top Las Vegas resort can cost more than $4 billion to build. That's before a single bed is placed. Then the staff, thousands of them. Dealers, cooks, cleaners, security, hosts, running 24 hours a day, every day of the year. And speaking of security, look up. Those dark domes in the ceiling? That's the eye in the sky. A casino watches its floor with thousands of cameras, not just to catch cheating players, but to watch their own staff and protect every dollar on the floor. Then there's regulation. You need a license, and they are extremely hard to get. Governments watch casinos more closely than almost any other business because so much cash flows through them. So, add it all up. A casino makes tiny margins on the games, but it plays them millions of times. It uses those games as bait to fill an enormously profitable hotel and restaurant and entertainment empire. It studies your every move to keep you playing, and it leans on a handful of whales to tip the scales. A casino isn't a gambling hall. It's a data company wrapped around a shopping mall, disguised as a party. So, could you own one? Well, you'd need billions to build it, a license most people will never get, and the nerve to run a business where a few bad nights with the whales can cost you a fortune. But if you get it right, you won't be gambling at all, because you'll finally understand the oldest rule in the building. The house doesn't win because it's lucky. The house wins because it built the room. Next time, we take apart a business that is dying on almost every street in America, and yet somehow is still worth billions. That's the money behind a shopping mall.